Hey guys, welcome to my channel Love Beyond Labels. Right at the onset, let me keep you all informed that I'll not only be doing a detailed review and analysis, but will also clarify the ending of The Effect BL series, which is based on the novel of the same name. Your opinion with regard to the series, in case you have watched it, and my opinion may clash, which I completely understand. Please be warned that the storyline may disturb certain audiences. Also, be nice and respectful in your comments. I really appreciate that. The book that the series is based on has 15 chapters in total, and perhaps that is mainly the reason many got confused. The makers of the show clearly only wanted to tell the main story, which is Shin and King, and they barely needed 3 episodes to do that. Period. So let's not argue whether some episodes should have been included or perhaps the series should have a sequel, etc. etc. All the theories floating around with respect to how many episodes the series was supposed to have and was the episodes reduced because the show was told to be cancelled, etc. is all a complete fallacy. Trust me on this, I have read the Thai novel written by author Sweet Sky, and since I know Thai, I finished reading it much before I watched the series. Let me tell you all, the novel has 2 versions. A dark and rather disturbing one where nasty and notorious scenes and events take place. The other is light and bubbly. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. For every effect, there is a cause. One does not do an action without a reason behind it. The reason may be obvious, deliberate, but it could also be hidden or unaware to the person doing the action. Thai actors Prapaton Chakashun, Chakrit Bonsing are the leads in The Effect, directed by Tanakan Niamrungrong and Angkhana Tongpul, serving as the creative director. And the drama is being produced by JJ Productions, the watermark of which you can clearly see in almost all the snapshots. This drama is definitely not easy to watch, since it deals with a subject that's too sensitive, but at the same time demands our attention. Shin, played by James, is a university freshman and an outsider. His awkwardness and lack of friends pave the way for a budding relationship with a senior student named King, played by Oh. And as they become intimate, rumors about them being an item spread like wildfire within the campus, leaving them with no choice but to refrain from seeing more of each other. Though King looks happy and confident from the outside, he's a broken man from inside. So when Shin enters his life, he sees a ray of hope for all his miseries that he has been dealing with all alone while plastering a smile on his face all the time. But when he realizes that Shin has no special feelings for him the way he has for the young man, he snaps. I don't want to explain King's behavior in any way, because what he did is worse. But we can clearly see here how unafraid, unsure, and truly scared he was for losing Shin, the only person he truly wants for himself. Not to please his parents or the society, but just to be happy. The series daringly deals with taboo subjects that seemingly people just sweep under the rug, be it rape, rumor mongering on social media, depression, or even suicide. The way the series presented everything raw, graphic, and without sugarcoating anything was outstanding and certainly needs to be commended. Please be very objective, else it will be hard to do it with this very emotional show to see things through. The intention of the makers of the show is to raise awareness, not to instigate hate. Judge me all you want, but I do feel sorry for King, given that his situation made him the way he is. He is a broken man from the start, and the blame lies heavily on his parents. At first, you want to love him and then hate him with passion, but you have to think about everything before judging him. He really did do an awful thing, that's true. But those were all the repressed feelings that had piled up in him that came out in one moment, and they mixed and the effect wasn't the best. So King's parents are the real culprit here with what happened to Shin and their own son. Not everyone is capable of handling rejection and trauma. The amount of pressure that King felt at home made him feel claustrophobic, because of which beyond a certain point he lost his sanity when Shin rejected his advances. He just couldn't differentiate between good and bad. He wanted to vent his frustration for being pressurized to be the best while getting rejected from someone he really loved, though perhaps one-sided. Unfortunately, Kang's character portrays the realities of life, that nothing is perfect. Even though he's smart, handsome, and perfect on the inside, he's dealing with a lot of issues all by himself. Also, a family that doesn't love their child but only care about their reputation, the constant pressure of being the most ideal son and the perfect student took complete toll on Kang that eventually ruined not one but two lives. Now, unlike novels where every action, reaction, the expression can be told, when it comes to visual experience, everything depends on how the actors convey certain emotions. That is why I applaud Otis Kang. His features will sway you to think that he is incapable of anything evil, given his charming, innocent looks and unassuming behavior. As they say, don't judge a book by its cover could be more appropriate for him here. Is he really capable of any despicable actions? Or events triggered the inner demon in him that he for eternity tried to keep it at bay or prison? When a character is an antagonist and you feel disgusted with the character, this means that the actor who played the role actually did a great job. James as Shin, you can really see in his face the admiration for Kang without saying anything. And the time he felt betrayed, the pain resonates in his eyes. Opposite of an antagonist. When you feel the pain and happiness, then you know that the actor was able to deliver what's expected of him. Now coming to the main part of the story, the ending. Firstly, the series is called The Effect in reference to the butterfly effect, which means that a single occurrence, no matter how small, can change the course of the universe forever. In the version adapted by the makers of the show from the book, one day after work, Shin sees Kang on the other side of the road. Still unclear about whether he wanted to come face to face with someone he was in love with, yet that very same person destroyed his life. But still, Shin walked towards his Kang when suddenly everything comes to halt after the sound of a car crash. Shin thought this is the feeling of freedom that he can finally let go. However, it's unclear who it was that got hit. Is he relieved that Kang got hit so that he can move on now that his rapist is dead? Or is Shin free from the pain because he died from getting hit himself? In fact, in the lighter version of the novel, Kang never raped Shin, and instead the story focuses solely on Kang being pressurized to bear the responsibility of his family's expectations and be the popular guy at school. And since the ending is abrupt with a lot of theories, it's up to the viewers to create their own theory. Maybe Shin died, or Kang died, or perhaps they both died. It's an open ending, so let our imagination figure out the possibilities. In the last scene, we see Shin looking at all the people who bullied him back in school. He says everyone forgot about what happened to him. They forgot all the hurtful words they said to him, and now he's the only one who has to move on from the past. And maybe he couldn't move on and thus decided to die by suicide. There is also another possibility that Kang isn't really there, it's just Shin's imagination. The thought of what Kang did, the thought of Kang dying by suicide, maybe it was all too much for Shin to handle, leading to depression and him dying by suicide as well. There is also one more possibility that only Kang died. Kang dying by suicide because his life wasn't worth living after Shin rejected him. In his mind, his parents hate him and will never support him in what he wants to do with his life. People are friends with him for benefits like popularity and not because they really like him as a person. And the only person he truly cared for was Shin. But after being rejected, he didn't know how to handle his emotions since he had always been taught by his parents to control the ones you love. So that's what he did. It's only after realizing what he did and knowing that the only person he has ever loved, Shin, doesn't want to be in his life anymore that he takes his own. In the end, Shin is thinking about Kang, about not being able to move on from the past and not being able to accept the harsh realities of life, and that the only person who ruined his life was also the one that loved him the most. Certain themes that may become part of the series have been thrown in the air. Among them are rape, cyberbullying, depression, and couple switching. Certainly not for the faint of heart. In fact, I would really like to appreciate the production team for featuring realistic yet disturbing scenes. It just goes on to show how deeply involved they were with depicting the story visually, which is one of the most powerful medium of conveying the message to the larger audience. That's it for this video. Thank you so much guys for listening to me so very patiently. Hope you enjoyed the video. Lots more awesome BL content coming up, so stay tuned for more. By the way, this is my original voice and not that of a robot. Bye bye.